Listen, he's as quintessentially a Mumbaiker, if I can use that word, as anybody can be.
He's a nice, gentle person and he has a sense of humor.
I love the way he puns on words and sees the undercurrent as long as the humor is concerned.
He's got a very witty and almost, at some level, almost a wicked take on the city.
He's seen the city go up, down, sideways, and into each other and out of each other and all of that. So I think it's a unique point of view.
He's seen the city from close quarters, and I think he's a very good observer of human beings.
Scandal Point was more set in the world of film, fashion, and of course it was done as a thriller, a murder thriller, with all kinds of turns and twists and brilliant things. But it gave us an insight into the kind of Bombay that a lot of us are familiar with.
I told Fahad I kept trying to guess who the characters were because he told me they're all the characters I know.
But the first one was fun. It was, I think, something which amused both of us. We were talking about the characters and the different parts they played, and it was really magical.
I kept trying to guess who the characters are, and over the years I've been trying to decipher a few. But it's been a great light reading, and you can get deep into it if you want to. But I like the way it's always moving, it's funny, and it's a tongue-in-cheek.
Get all these stories of real life people, which we shall not name, but then also write them in a way that you can only say, I think I know this person.
The important thing is the ability to take a unique perspective on the people of the city. A city really isn't about its buildings and about, we've got all these fantastic things, but really more than that, it's about the people. Any city is defined by the people, and I think his unique ability to pick up on the people is what makes all his books, and will always make his books, such amazing reads.
The picture that Fahad paints of Bombay, both in his earlier book, Scandal Point, and in his new book, Flashpoint, is a picture of Bombay that is so vivid, so real, that we feel it is recording our history.
He has a way with words as he has with ideas, written and spoken. And I think that no one knows Bombay as much and as well as he does, because he's been a South Bombay guy and he's now in the suburbs, which I can tease him about.
Hello, hello, hello. Truly wonderful to see you all here, and thank you for making it this evening. About a year ago, Fahad's first novel, Scandal Point, was unleashed upon an unsuspecting public, and lo and behold, went on to become a bestseller. And here we are today to celebrate the launch of Fahad's second novel in his Mumbai trilogy, and this is Flashpoint. And we are thrilled to have with us today someone who is no stranger to being photographed. Please join me in welcoming the man, the voice, the incomparable Kabir Bedi.
Fahad and Simone are dear friends. They're a great team, and I'm always reminded of the fact that women marry men thinking they'll change, and they don't. And men marry women thinking they won't change, and they do. But in the case of Fahad and Simone, the results are wonderful because we love them as they are. The unchanged Fahad and the changed Simone. If anything is a testimony to that, it's the dedication at the beginning of the book, which says, "For Simone, who inspires me to do the things that I think I cannot do." Fahad, he's a Renaissance man. You can talk to him intelligently about anything under the sun. He will add to your knowledge. He will stimulate your brain cells. He's a man whose company, Bombay Talkies, he produces, directs, and writes for them, for ad films, documentaries, television shows. He writes for many, many prestigious magazines, newspapers. And then he brought out his book, which was Scandal Point, which, as Simone mentioned, went on to become a bestseller. Now we have Flashpoint. Flashpoint is a really interesting book because it's set in the world of the paparazzi. They are the chroniclers, people that observe and photograph the rich and famous, the notorious, the infamous. I experienced the paparazzi starting in the 70s in a big way, and my favorite paparazzi story is that I came out of a restaurant once in Rome, and the crush of people wanting to see me was so great that the car that was supposed to pick me up couldn't get there. I got rescued from the crowds by a paparazzi putting me in his car and whisking me away. The Indian paparazzi is respectful, and I salute their service to the film industry and to the media in general. Fahad's book is most interesting because it tells the story of this Kashmiri boy who comes to Bombay having been forced to leave his studio in Srinagar, and how he tries to make his way as a photographer, as a paparazzi, under the guidance of his uncle. And so you see fame and glamour and power through the eyes of this young, and it's a fascinating reversal of roles because suddenly you're seeing all this from a different point of view. And what I love about Fahad is the fact that he writes so engagingly. So let me read from his book, Riding Pillion on Maqbool's rusty red Lambretta. Zishan made his maiden journey from the enervating Oshiwara past vibrant Bandra and gentrified Parel towards swish-whirly Pedder Road, Chopati, and finally Kolaba. The city that seemed so filthy to the young outsider upon arrival looked markedly sanitized, even beautiful, as they crossed the infamous divide between North and South Mumbai. Marveling at the Art Deco frontage of Marine Drive and the Indo-Gothic skyline of Oval Maidan, Zishan realized that there were many mini Mumbais in chaotic coexistence. I love his turn of phrase, many mini Mumbais in chaotic coexistence. The merrily pickled swarm would spill out from Voodoo and lurch down Apollo Bandar Promenade, past the gateway to the bylanes of Tulloch Road, and once there, effect a rear door entry into the other gay-friendly bar in town. Gokul's was a grey cement-walled dour establishment, popular only because it stayed open late and served booze cheaply by the quarter bottle. You see the wonderful use of language, the vivid imagery, the turn of phrase that keeps you engaged in every sentence, bringing alive the city, its people, its places, and while doing so, telling a wonderful story, in this case of the paparazzis of Mumbai, whom we all salute collectively today. Thank you all very much.
Thank you all for coming out on a Sunday evening. God knows I would have been tucked into bed. Bless you. You know, we all need to get by with a little help from our friends. And I'm going to call on Atul Kaspekar, who's just been so generous with his time and talent. The very dapper, in a tuxedo, Atul Kaspekar. Yeah, baby.
I'm just glad that the next male voice that came up after Kabir was his. Because otherwise, I was hoping for a Shamitab kind of moment where you're going to sort of
it would be very shabby tab, let me assure you.
Yeah, you can't show up after him and hold a microphone and say anything. Listen, when Fahad spoke to me about the idea, and before he could finish his sentence, I said yes. My colleagues who've been shooting the red carpet and all sorts of other fabulous images that really make up a lot of the visual matter in our magazines and newspapers are old friends, all by face, some by name, and they do a remarkable job, and I love them to death. And having said that, I have to say there's been a lot of assignments in a 20+ year career that I've done, which involved some really famous people, but I had such a good time doing this one. It was an absolute blast, honestly. But many thanks, congratulations, and I hope this one tops Scandal Point.
Thank you. I'm going to request you to stay on here. What does one say about the mercurial Kabir Bedi? You have been so generous, so entirely and utterly generous. I mean, really, and then you bestow this honor of giving voice to my words. I'm overwhelmed. May I please request you back on stage? And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our chroniclers of the red carpet. I'm going to request Kabir to say something very special.
You know, all these people have immortalized so many famous people. They have photographed so many people. Today, all of us in a sense are paparazzis because we all have our mobile phones. So may I request you all to take out your mobile phones and photograph the paparazzis and make this an event where they are in front of the camera. Okay, we are grateful to them, and also, Fahad, such a brilliant idea you had to base this entire novel of yours, spellbinding as it is, on the lives of people that have given us so much in this industry and in the media. Thank you for that, and congratulations to you all. You are representatives of a great tribe that keeps alive the images of all the people that people want to know about. Thank you so much for your contribution.
He's a great chronicler.
Versatile.
I've known Fahad since college, and I always knew he had that writer spirit.
He really creates a sense of space and a sense of atmosphere and a sense of characters well beyond just a standard point of view. You know, it is an insider's point of view. He also covers the outsider's point of view. So it's very in-depth, but above all, it is just very, very engaging.
There is an inquiry there, which I see, which is an asset for any writer. We all artists, eventually our job is to be mirrors of the society we live in. And he does that extremely well.
You know, about 2 years ago, when the idea came to me to write Flashpoint, I was looking forward to the day when I would be able to felicitate on stage the press photographers of Mumbai. Today that dream has come true. I'm so delighted that Kabir Bedi, Atul Kasbekar, Madhavan, Tisca Chopra, you name it, 150 friends, true friends, have come out in support of this extraordinary moment. And for me, the expression on the faces of these 8 guys who have been so moved, I am so moved. I think the audience can't believe the kind of emotions that are there this evening for this. It's the biggest treat of all. You know, the book, my first book became a bestseller. The second one, we'll see what happens. But for me today, I think I have achieved everything I wanted with just being able to salute these people.
And I think we are going to see another perspective of Mumbai photographers, which very few people know about. That was at least about film, so people know a little. So this is really going to be an eye-opener and something that I think people are going to really find a great deal of delight in.